Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back and we'll begin.
Once you realize that the way you exist right now is not enough, that there is something more, your spiritual process has already begun. Sadhguru. Yoga is the journey from just eating and sleeping to becoming an ecstatic being. This is the aspiration of life itself. Only when man is willing to change himself, there can be a true revolution. I barely belong to this world, but still I'm participating. The spiritual process is always individual. You may sit in a group, but only the individual can evolve, only the individual can liberate himself. Without raising human consciousness, whatever we do in the world will only lead to more and more suffering. Plain intellectual thinking is the peak of ignorance, because all that you will know is to play with a few aspects and make others look like fools. Until you allow yourself to blossom into a state of boundlessness, you should not be content, you must burn with discontent. Intention you cannot perceive, and laxity you cannot perceive. Only if you are intense and relaxed, you perceive everything just the way it is. Devotion is the spark that can fire up your chemistry and energy to such a level that it creates an explosion of ecstasy within you. Gossip is a kind of misalignment with people around you. You can either gossip about everyone, or you can become one with everyone. Spirituality is a boundless ability to respond and experience. If we transform our population into a trained, focused, balanced and inspired population, India will be a miracle. Trees are the source of your very breath, cut and you shall curtail life itself. God is just a name to refer to something that is beyond all limitations. As a leader, you build trust when you give yourself 100%, so that people understand with your every action, you stand for them. Devotion is not a concept, not a certain kind of ideology, not a certain kind of act. It is the agent of dissolution. When you absolutely throw yourself into your activity, your energy will only grow. The cosmos is a complex amalgamation of sounds. One of the key sounds through which you can experience the cosmic nature of creation is Shambho. If you have no agenda of your own, life will work according to its agenda. Your personal agenda is taking you further and further away from that. Negative energies can't touch you if you are in a state of meditativeness. A devotee has no agenda of his own. For him, the object of devotion is everything. For integrity to flourish in society, we have to nurture it, within ourselves, in our children, in our education systems. If you think you are big, you will become small. If you are willing to become an absolute nothing, you will become larger than creation and creator. We think there is an ecological problem, but the real problem is irresponsible growth of human population. As long as you are a part of the physical process of the existence, there is nothing that does not change. One significant thing that you can do for your children is to invest some time into taking them out into nature. Being spiritual is a far more intelligent way to exist. It means being in tune with the intelligence of the Creator. A guru is not someone who holds a torch for you. He is the torch. Devotion means who you are should merge with what you are doing. Otherwise, whatever your activity may be, it will not be of any great significance. The physical is only a small aspect of existence. In this cosmos, not even 1% is physical, the rest is non-physical. When meditation makes you realize that you have so many limitations of your own and they are all created by you, the longing to break them will come. A guru is not a crutch, he is a bridge. If you dissolve your personality, your presence becomes very powerful. This is the essence of spiritual sadhana. Creation is not your doing, but the way you are, the way you experience life, the situations you attract, are 100% your doing. When one is overfed and another one is hungry, I call that a disaster. You do not have to pursue something intensely. You as a being should become very intense. Yoga means union, that in your experience, everything has become one. Bhakti yoga is a way of transforming your emotion from negativity to utmost pleasantness. Ganapati, the one with the human body and the head of a Gana, became a tremendous possibility. You will know the joy of action only when you are blissful by your own nature. Today, it is more important than ever to raise human consciousness, so that technology becomes a means of empowerment, not destruction. Any method to heighten the presence of that which is the source of creation within you is yoga. There is a region beyond reason. Unless you get there, you will not know the sweetness of love, nor the divine. The whole creation is so tenderly balanced. This manifests the mastery of the Creator. Your intelligence is so deeply entangled with the social identification that you have taken on, your brains are not working in line with the life within you, it is working against your own life. That is the source of misery. Meditation is that dimension of science which focuses on creating the right kind of interior, so that you can live a peaceful and joyous life. Meditation is an opportunity to move into a dimension where there is no such thing as stress within you. If you ask a tree how he feels to know that he's spreading his fragrance and making people happy, I don't think a tree looks at it that way. I am just like that, and it is just my nature to be like this. Meditation is the nourishment for flowering. In yoga, you never chase an experience, you only prepare for it. What you call intelligence and what you refer to as the Creator are not different. The Creator is pure intelligence, intelligence beyond logic. If you did not have any personality, you would have a tremendous presence. The more rigid your personality, the more constipated your whole being. When a child enters your life, it's time to learn, not time to teach. It is possible for every human being to be blissful, if you are willing to pay a little attention to how this human mechanism functions. Of the blue-bodied cowherd, ever playful in love and war, don't you fail to see the immensity of his wisdom and light. It is not because there is God that devotion has come. Because there is devotion, there is God. Devotion means a profusion of life. Devotion as an act is vulgar. Devotion as a way of life is wonderful. If you are a great devotee, it is ugly. If you are devout, it is beautiful. Spirituality is not a disability, it is a phenomenal empowerment of life. For wealth to translate into well-being, you need a spiritual element within you. Without that, your success will work against you. Making conclusions about life is a sure way to deny yourself the possibility of a human being transforming himself into the divine. If we are not sensible about this, in our ideas of wealth creation we may completely destroy the planet, which we are already doing in many ways. Blissfulness does not compel you to behave in any particular way. Out of bliss, I can laugh or cry, I can sit quietly or be active in the world. Devotion is not drama. Devotion is a way of living. Devotion is the way you walk, the way you breathe, and the way your heart beats. If you do a yoga that does not change the patterns of energy within you, I would say, don't waste your time on it. The highest force in existence is consciousness, and you are that. The essence of spirituality is to be constantly aware of the oneness of all, at the same time to celebrate the uniqueness of the individual. Devotion is a tool to dissolve yourself into nothingness and become the very hand of the divine. Collaboration is far more powerful than competition. Do not think that only if you are pushed to the wall, you will do your best. With yoga, not only your body should become flexible, your mind and emotions, and above all your consciousness should become flexible. If you pay sufficient attention, everything in life is magnificent, everything is a doorway to the divine. With wrong farming methods, we turn fertile land into desert. Unless we go back to organic farming and save the soil, there is no future. If only there is a sufficient number of people whose experience of life goes beyond body and mind, this world will be a very different place. There is wealth but no well-being. What are you going to do with this wealth? Any teaching will not transform you as long as you are deeply attached to your body. Yoga is towards reducing this attachment. For the sort of potential that a human being carries, it is a very brief life. Everything that can be created has already been done in creation. As human beings, we can only imitate, not create as such. This is a technology where without external input, you create a chemistry of blissfulness within you. The very way you breathe, sit, stand, eat, walk, work, everything can become yoga. You can use any process of life to transcend your limitations. Devotion means your limited entity has been dissolved, a much larger possibility has become a living reality for you. Whether you are running a business, an industry, or a nation, what is needed are insight, integrity, and inspiration. Only when you are absolutely devoted to what you do, can you produce something significant in the world. A consecrated space experientially reminds you that there is much more to life than you think. We are eating, using up, and possessing more than we should. That is why a large portion of the human population is hungry. What we refer to as yoga is just a technology to make your energies function by choice, not by compulsion. Yoga means to unite the limited with the unlimited. The methods and technologies of how to experience that which is beyond the physical is what is known as the science of yoga is a longing. Only when your longing is cranked up to peak intensity, knowing becomes a possibility. I'm not interested in the well-being of society because society is a big lie. Where is society? I only see individual beings and only the individual can grow. Each one is enormous and tremendous in his own way, each one is unique. I am not talking about you being a spectator, I am talking about involvement. I am talking about involving yourself into life in such a way that you dissolve into it. Sadhana is towards creating a sense of inner fulfillment, where there is no need to lean on anyone anymore. Generally, people who are not self-realized are full of themselves. One who is self-realized sees that the whole world is full of one. Devotion is when your involvement with life is so absolute that you yourself do not matter anymore. Only when you stop identifying yourself with things that are not you, the possibility of knowing the nature of your existence arises. In spirituality, when we say growth, we are talking about becoming smaller, not just smaller, non-existent. Only in unawareness you are mortal. In awareness you are immortal. Seek what you know as the highest. It does not matter whether it is going to happen or not. Living with a vision itself is a very elevating process. Essentially, yoga means dissolving your identity. Ignoring the source of creation and trying to conduct your life yourself is a terribly egoistic and ignorant attitude towards life. This is not just about talking or teaching a practice, this is about releasing an explosive energy of ecstasy. If you want to create a beautiful world, people in positions of responsibility and power should know a certain sense of joyfulness and peacefulness. Sadhguru.
And that's not all. Our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.